Hello everyone, my name is Martina, I'm from MMK, and today I'll be your, moderator of this panel on Booking Manager Summit. Here I have charter companies from Croatia, Turkey and Greece who will be the panelists. First is Paško Klisović. He's head of NCP charter company from Croatia and general manager. Then I have Mr. Ioannis Kourounis from Istion Yachting from Greece, general manager as well, and I have Mr. Wulff from Phoenix Yachting actually it's a fleet from Turkey and Croatia as well, Austrian company. Today we will all be trying to, let's say, discuss some burning issues of charter industry, and we will try to give you answers on some questions if you have them. First, I will give you some statistics from my head, because obviously we have no screen, and then we will discuss them a little bit. Then every panelist will say a few words about their company, about who they are, what they do, and why actually they started and why they decided to join the business. And then we will have discussion about these burning issues. If you have any questions during the panel, join us. So the point is that we all talk, discuss, and find, let's say, some solutions on for some problems. Regarding the statistics, so the panel is, what are the numbers of the panel that we will talk about? So we in MMK, we have 8,600 yachts, 620 charter operators, 3,000 agencies. About these numbers we can talk, and from these numbers we got you some statistics that I will not show you, but tell you today. Average commission for yacht charter bookings in 2018 and 2019 in comparison stayed actually the same. So in Greece we had 18%, it stayed 18%. In Croatia we had 15% average agency commission in 2018, it stayed 2019, it stayed 15%. Okay, in Turkey a little bit decreased from 18% in 2018 to 17% in 2019. This is like, okay, 15%, 18% agency commission, it's okay. Some agents have 20%, some have 12%, then in average it's fine. But what happened with discounts is something that is extremely, I would not say interesting, but a problem, especially in some countries, Croatia. In 2018, in Greece, average discount was 18.5–19%. In 2019, it decreased. It is 17%. 16 point something, but okay, let's circle it to 17. Average discount. In Turkey, in 2018, when they still had problems, let's say, it was 25%, huge discount. In 2019, as soon as they, let's say, get up, it decreased on 18%. So from 25 to 18, average discount. What happened in Croatia? In 2018, we had 24% average discount, and in 2019, 27%. These numbers are based on a date 21st of October 2019. To be honest, all of these numbers are too high, if you ask me, as an average, because here we have June, July, August, etc. But let's discuss. So Greece 18, 17, okay. Croatia 24, 27, Turkey 25, 18. Today's questions that I have is, okay, what to do when the country is in crisis or lack of bookings or whatever. How to avoid, or I put in the brackets, stop price dumping. What to do to avoid that. How to, in general, improve client satisfaction without cutting prices. And at the end, is online booking even possible? I will explain all the questions, and then I will ask my panelists to answer on these questions if possible. So, how to avoid or stop price dumping? Okay, it's like, yeah, we need to stop cutting prices, we need to be higher, whatever. Do we all understand that once we give to a client 20%, that next year he will not come if he does not get 25 or 30 or whatever. Once you give discount, we checked in all statistics, all repeater clients, they never got lower discount than the previous year. Never ever. Whoever gets a discount, this discount stays or increases for the next year. How to stop it? How to improve their satisfaction without giving discounts, without giving anything for free? And at the end, can our industry be like hotel industry, like apartment renting industry, or yachts are something different and special? I'm asking you, Paško, Ioannis, Alex, to answer however you want.
Just ask, Martina, one question which you maybe can answer, which can help us, lead us.
Yeah.
So we have the discounts, we have the commission, let's say numbers. What we don't have is the realized or net marketed price. What we really got for a week. And that, because maybe it's the case that in Croatia we really have the starting prices too high.
No.
Yeah,
no. I mean, but maybe if we have a number, if we have the number that can show us that the difference
the average basket price in all markets is like €50 difference. 2,300,
so that's not the case, and that's out. So we have the problem.
We have really a problem. Yeah.
So
how to stop it?
And what about the discounts? Have been the numbers you gave us, Martina, are calculated on the turnover or on the number of charters? I mean, how is that calculated?
Every charter. So, for example, we had 8,600 euros times 20, 160,000 bookings, let's say, in the system. Every booking had a discount, let's say 20, then 10%, then whatever.
So calculated on number of charters, not on the turnover.
Not the turnover, number of charters.
Okay, and how secured is the estimation that this has been applied, the discount you mentioned in the numbers, are calculated on the prices, on the retail price, on the price the client paid, finally?
Yeah, everything is calculated on the net price. So first we took the VAT out, then we took the agency commission out, and then you have a client price without optional or obligatory extras. So these are really real numbers. How to stop it?
So
Well,
I mean, as Martina said, first let's try to introduce ourselves as a company. So we, as an NCP, started in 1995, so it's been almost 25 years now. And actually, from the beginning, the idea, even at that time, not facing the current issues in the Croatian charter market, but even at that time, the idea was to start a little bit different company, always what you can say, a charter with a twist. So it was always, at that time, for example, there are many sailing boats already in Croatia being chartered, and our idea at that time was to start with motorboat fleet, and actually that's how story began. There were some motorboat companies, but very, very rare and with very few boats at the time. And so let's say and then from that point on, we enlarged, and then of course, if you want to gain some bigger numbers, you had to also introduce sailing boats. But again, when we decided for sailing boats, let's say we decided for Grand Soleil brand, which again, for people who know, it's not a typical charter boat. It's usually private boat, which has a small niche of charter clients. But it was, of course, you had to take some time to introduce the product. But in the end, it worked. And then, of course, as the trend came, the catamaran fleet came also in our fleet. So let's say the idea from the beginning until, let's say, today's 70-something boats was to try a bit different and not to be in constant competition with the massive numbers. In the last few years, as we reached this 70-boat fleet, which is a large fleet and is not a large fleet, I would say it's a mid-size fleet. current decision, let's say, is not to grow with numbers in sense of raising the number of boats. Of course, we need to renew the fleet each year. You have to, of course, sell some boats and buy new ones, and try to focus, of course, on the quality and on the diversification of the fleet. So one thing let's say which we do is a bit different or non-typical is that among the 73 boats at the moment, we have over 50 different models, which I mean, I would not suggest to any of you that it's the best way to do business, because of course it's a good way to make a little bit more stable the prices and the discounts. Of course, the downside is always you need huge technical support to make the 50 different models, you know, run in the smooth way and offering the level of the service which we want to do. So that's one way of approaching the problem. So now I'm also now talking about the possible solutions to the problem. But what I would say, from at least Croatian perspective, things started to change in the moment when, let's say, when the business changed from family business, so family-owned business, family-run business, into investors' business. And I think this is the same situation is both on the providers' side, as the charter companies running the fleet, and on the agency side, as of course the ones who send the clients. Of course, the expectations of the owner, single owner or a family owner, in the company, as a charter company and in the agency, is surely not the same as are the expectations of the funds, investors behind certain companies or whatever, charter companies or agencies. Talking primarily in a sense of, let's say, long-term feasibility and long-term sustainability. I guess all or most of the private owners and managers of the companies want to see themselves, let's say, within 10 years, and then maybe in 15 years, 20 years time, their kids doing hopefully the same business. I'm afraid that with the funds now supporting many of the companies from both ends of the market, so charter providers and agencies are, of course, they are targeting their annual numbers and hoping to reach annual bonuses, which of course are in some ways contradictory to the long-term business. So of course now we are where we are, and it's not only charter business. All these things happen to other, especially tourism parts, long time ago. So maybe we are one of the last one to be struck by this.
Do they? Because, for example, I'm searching for, just to be clear, these three companies, they are not average. So their discounts are not that high. They do something different, and I want to know why. What? So when I want to go skiing in Austria, for example, in January, will I get 20% discount? Never. Ever. I will not get 2%. I will get higher price because it's high season. What happens with us?
Sorry, when I meant that it affected others, I didn't mean in a way that discounts happened, but in a way that investors came behind the owners. And that's happening in hotel business, in every tour operator issue. But obviously, I think that the second issue is that sailing used to be a niche product, which is now going massive. And this transfer from niche clients to the general tourism clients obviously takes some time and takes some adjustments, because the general client, who is, I don't know, Booking.com client or Airbnb client, has different expectations, has different focuses. So I mean, if you are marketing a Grand Soleil, a real sailor doesn't need any advertisement for the boat itself. He knows that he's paying, I don't know, 20% more, and he's getting 40% more in the sense of performance or whatever he's looking for. With a Booking.com or whatever client, I think, of course, he's looking for a number of cabins, a number of I don't know, the square meters of the stern of the cockpit, sun tents, and of course the price. So maybe, I mean, from my point of view, the possible solution to the obvious problem that I don't think that we need to emphasize what the problem is, In Croatia, of course, the problem is the relation between the number of the boats and number of clients. So luckily, both of them still increasing. The number of clients is increasing, but the number of boats is increasing with a tempo which is not followed up by
sorry to interrupt. Will this happen now to Greece?
Yes. So
with 50% government giving money to buy boats.
Yeah.
Just to say, so Greece has a new rule, new gift for for our industry. Whoever buys a boat and wants to rent it for a charter or whatever, up to 400,000 euro, government gives them 50% of the amount.
Should we tell this to all people now, or?
If you want to buy a boat, the commission. No. Will this happen now to Greece as well? Will number of boats increase and demand stay the same?
That was a financial program that is closed now, so no more applications.
No, just for this year it's closed.
So yes, and we don't have official numbers, but I assume that some 500 registrations have been approved. So from what I see, 300 new boats are coming to Greece next year, and 200 more 2021.
Which is 20% increase.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yes. You know, in Greece we are, it's not so easy to give numbers.
But they can. No. That's why we have Martina. That's why we have Martina.
In Croatia it's easy. In Turkey it's okay, easy. In Italy it's, let's say, easy, but in Greece, one boat can be rented out by 20 companies, by 2 companies, by 5 people, by whatever, and then catch them if you can.
But wild guess, at the moment you have 1,500 boats, roughly.
Something like this, yes. Okay. We have adapted lately, let's say, a way to count the boats in Greece, which was not the case before. You know, the point in Greece is that the charter boat was something very common even for a private use. So it was the common way to get even a private boat in Greece. It was easy to register it as a charter boat, so you avoid to pay the VAT tax. Use the boat and charter it out whenever you like, or just for fun. So this matter makes things complicated when it comes to count the boats. But I assume the number now is 1,500 charter yachts in Greece, something like this. I don't know your numbers, Martina.
I have 1,800 actually.
Oh, cut out 300. Okay. And we were hoping on you for our statistics. We were hoping that you could cut out this double and triple.
We are cutting them. I mean, for example, in Croatia, only we have the real data. So Croatian Chamber of Commerce actually gets the data from us, for example. Because, okay, they have crew list, they have e-visitor, they have whatever. You have crew list that is connected also to MMK. So all governments and all countries come to us with the numbers. In this 1,800, there are also some private yachts, yachts that are registered for yacht charter. So yes, I would agree with 1,500 in total for yacht charter for professional business. I would agree with that.
Okay, so the electronic database for charter yachts in Greece started this year. Yeah. So hopefully we have some numbers in 2, 3, 5 years from now. Okay.
So your expectations, will you need to cut prices, give discounts because of the increase of number of boats or not?
Well, I think...
You personally not, probably, but...
I think Greece is a very attractive destination, and I think that the demand will increase. So for the moment, for the time being, the overview I have is that we don't give bigger discounts comparing to last year. Yeah, no. And I hope that this will work out. But yes, we will see. We will see. For the time being, things are going normal. So no bigger discounts for 2020 in Greece, as far as I know.
Yeah, no.
What about you? Have you noticed any?
You are decreasing. Greece as a country is decreasing discounts now.
Even with the fleet increasing, which
now.
is, yeah.
But what to expect? Because in Croatia, you know, the fleet increase, yeah, the demand also increased, but not by 2 or 3% and
fleet by 10.
Fleet by 10, so yeah. What about Turkey and, okay, Croatia we covered.
So I think we talked about Croatia, but when we're coming now to Turkey, you know, we have a total different situation than in Greece and in Turkey, in Croatia. So, you know, everybody what happened this year, so now all the foreign flags are not even more allowed this year for charter. So every boat has to be flagged in a Turkish way. You have to found a Turkish company with a partner. But it doesn't make it easier for us. But the good thing is that our company is now more than 15 years in Turkey, so we are very good networked. So we still have a nice and good fleet on 2 bases. The big problem in Turkey now is that it's very hard to bring new boats. So the fleets in Turkey are quite older. And the demand for new yachts is increasing. It's very big and high demand there. Yeah, but to bring a boat, you even have to buy it directly from Turkey. You can't bring now a new boat there, which is younger than 2017. So it brings us to find a way not to bring boats to Turkey. And yeah, that's not easy, but we find always a way every time.
Can you give us the way?
They have to give us the way. You know, we have to find a way. And,
what will you do?
we have to find partners for buying boats, you know. Now buying directly new boats from Turkey. But the other problem is, you know, the political situation there, all the problems in the east. Nobody knows what happens now to Syria. So for investors, it's kind of tricky and risky business, could be, but it's a very interesting model, you know, because when Turkey now stays still over the next months and years, yeah, it's a good place to make money in the moment, but it has to be stable.
Okay. I see some agents, brokers in the audience. I would ask you, if you want to talk, please, what do your clients say about these? Let's focus on these 3 countries: Croatia, Turkey, and Greece. Why do they come back, or why they don't come back? What's good? What's not good? Do you have any feedback about that? Please stop with someone. Okay.
Martina, can we ask how many charter agents are here? That was my question.
50.
And the rest, fleet operators?
Fleet operators, suppliers, marinas, shipyard.
So, hi, I'm Roger, founder of Model. Thank you, Martina. Starting, can I start about the discount thing?
Yeah.
That is a very interesting question. In my point of view, there are many things, it's not only one. It's like we are in an internet moment that I think that we are educated to find cheap prices. It's not about boats, it's everything.
Yeah.
Another thing is that we are growing a lot in the market. I mean, a lot of new companies are starting to join with fleet operators or new boats in the market. They don't yet know how to bring value. Maybe it's easy to get discount like this. It's like for us as well. Like, what can be easier than giving discounts? Like how we can bring better value than that. Like this is our mission as well. But it's not. It's like I think it's a little bit of everything. What we have to consider all together is to trust more about our product. First of all, like not say it's so easy. Say okay, let's take because we need cash flow in the middle of the season. I'm suffering a lot. Let's push ourselves together. Let's not try to make so many discounts. This is very important. In the consolidation process, in terms of marketplaces, it's true that investors are pushing us a lot in terms of GMV. But for us as well, it's super important to keep our commission high. Otherwise, we have to raise investment all over and over again. But I believe in the next 2-3 years, many brokers or big platforms will die because this is not long-term vision. This is, as you said, guys, this is short-term vision, and I don't think will help with the future. So this is, if you put all the dots together, I believe consolidation will help everybody. About Croatia, you know, a little bit the markets, I can see that clients are coming back. What I can see, it's not only bareboat charters, it's also about super yacht market that we are also in with MIVA, is that clients want shorter weeks. It's a shorter booking, sorry. Like, it's not about only week rentals, as you said, guys, as well. New clients are not looking for week rentals. It's a long-term weekend, like or charter. It's too much. It's too much. So you have to consider when you have a lot of competition to consider if you have 10 boats, try one boat to offer experiences. You know, maybe with a skipper, and slowly you bring new clients to the market, and they will for sure longer book a week rental. This, everybody, like here, will help the industry to grow, but not for experienced sailors that are the ones that are looking for week rentals. If we want to make this market bigger, I definitely believe that we have to educate them from the beginning. Week rentals is for experienced sailors. If you want to grow this market, I suggest you, because we are also offering day charters, and it's a huge, huge market. And I can see a big, interesting opportunity for charter companies that are only offering week rentals. That's my point.
I think we can all agree. So this is what I was referring when I said we have to adjust. So from the niche client to the general client, this is the part of adjustment. Of course, within our logistics, within our organization of the weekly routine, which has to be a little bit changed. Of course, then it implies too many different, at least in Croatia, legal employment issues which are still not resolved. But I guess that's not only Croatia. I guess so that's the same or similar problems in Greece and Turkey.
Yeah. Any other experience from agencies? Czech Republic.
It's almost very similar experience. We are fighting different platforms, and we really wish to give lower discount.
Yeah.
But maybe I have one question to you, just to put the numbers to the context. You talked about the average agency commission. It was the realized commission after the agency discount?
No. Commission given from charter operators to agencies. We did not count in then the discount that agent gave to his client, because if we counted this, I don't want to do that.
So the real commission is more, but the discount is double.
Yeah, it means the average commission which agency realized will be much smaller than 15.
Yes. In some cases it will be zero. You know.
But the general discount then goes to 40%. This is what we are. Yeah.
Martina, in our case, I can be super honest with you guys. Our average commission after the discount is 14 to 15%. So we don't make crazy discounts. We don't need it. So I talk to the sales team. I say, hey guys, bring value to the clients.
Yeah.
Like, because on the other side, if you give too much discounts to the clients, they might think, why I'm taking this crazy discount? Something is behind that. You know what I mean?
What about, I mean, I'm curious what agencies say about, I mean, this is an idea, I'm not saying it's a solution or it's even doable, but about the categorization which could be done within the charter fleets. So again, talking about Booking.com client or Airbnb, I mean, they are not experienced sailors, so they really do not know what to expect or not to expect on the boat. Do you think maybe a 3-star or 4-star category through which he would search the boat in, so that not all the boats are in the same bucket, that he filters by stars or any other model of filtering, and then he gets not 2,000 boats, but then he gets 500 boats? Is it something that agencies see as some possible solution?
My input on this is it's a similar question. When you agents are offering boats to your clients, do you announce since the beginning which company are you offering, which fleet operator you are offering? Because the question is not how much discount you are offering. The question is not what discount the client gets. The question is what he gets for the rest he's paying. So, and that was also my input for the platforms and MMK and everything. So when it comes to offer a boat, in my opinion, The 3 stars, 4 stars, it's a story that might work. But for the time being, what I think you should offer is the stamp. So you give 10% for Phoenix boat and maybe 15% for a no-name boat. It's not what you offer, it's what the client will get finally. Okay? So I think this is very critical and this will make the difference. We need to offer a boat through a fleet operator with name and quality, and then announce the discount and say you are getting this price for this service. And if you want a cheaper one, you will get another fleet operator. The boats are almost the same. I mean, what difference can make a Lagoon 450 or 46? What you are offering is almost the same. Then it comes to the fleet operator to give the service on top of the boat and to give the service to the client. So this is what we should all consider when it comes to discuss about pricing and discounts.
How to make, for the client, to make it visible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the issue, because client usually uses the platforms, and the contact between the client and the agent is becoming a very rare thing. So it's actually it's an online process. So that's what in which way to make for the client understandable that the value for money is not the same here and there. So I think this is the question, and maybe you can provide technology or
especially in our business, because as you said, we are a charter business. We have to do a lot of service. We have to do a lot of work to make the yachts run, and we are not a hotel or Airbnb or something like that. There is the big point, and all the platforms do the same like Airbnb does. I think there we have to change.
Yeah, but Airbnb, if it's hotel or something, then there are stars. There is something that will direct client, that he at least knows what to expect roughly.
Yeah, but much less parameters they have to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
and we have
that's
much
why I say
more parameters.
I'm not sure if this is doable, but something within this range. Yeah.
In all these platforms, Airbnb, Booking.com, whatever, one of the main things are reviews. Client's experience, information about client. What did he expect? What did he get? Rate, and at the end, some kind of a comment.
I agree, but still we have to narrow the search or the results. So even with all the reviews there, when he clicks, I don't know, to Croatia, Lagoon 450 or whatever, he will get hundreds of boats. And then he has to check all the reviews. I think we should narrow the search result somehow.
Search a hotel in Paris, I will get thousands of results.
But not within 3 star. Then you will put one more filter before you get the result. You will get a 2 star, 3, or price range. Something that will make it more narrow.
Okay, this category system. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was about to say something about this category system the hotels are following. In our business, it's very difficult to make standards and to just make categories, 3 stars and 4 stars and 5 stars, because it comes to very difficult issues to calculate and to standardize. I mean, hotels, 4 stars, rooms should be 25 square meters and above. What are you going to compare this to the boats? It's not easy. It can be, and I think there is somebody in here. We have some workshops on this. We can discuss it. It's a good idea. It's a good projection to work on. But I think it's quite difficult just to base on this. I would suggest charter agents to come and see and follow the fleet operators. Come to see our boats, come to see our bases, discuss with the clients, get the feedback, and give the feedback back to the fleet operator. This is what we are expecting, and this is how you can understand how it works. 4 stars, okay, can be a sign, but it will not be all. So you will need your personal experience on what you are offering. And the only way to do that is to come and see us.
Yeah, we have some fleets, Paško, sorry, that are doing this category thing, which I think is, how to be polite, I don't think this is the smartest idea, because then a client does not know what to expect. Because in a hotel, for example, you know that a 3-star hotel will not have a pool, just an example. That a 4-star maybe will, but 5, yeah, you will have some kind of wellness, whatever. If we do the categorization of the boats and then we have, I don't know, economy line, 3-star, whatever, what will he expect? You know how clients are. They come to the base, they say, I booked a boat 2007 and I got 2006, what's going on with you, blah, blah, blah. Do you think that really this can work?
I think that's the part where we can try to regulate something ourselves. For the moment, let's be honest, we are no longer in control of the business. And this is why the things, I mean, 10 years ago or before the crisis or even a few years after the crisis, we were still in control. Now we are not anymore. So if someone has to set up the standards, I think it's us. In the beginning I said it's not easy, but I think with a reception office standards, with the luggage room standards, with the check-in procedure standards, with the safety items on board standards, with the hospitality items on board standards, I think it can be done. Not an easy process. It will, of course, depend from the market to the market. Maybe this will be the biggest problem, because if we set it, we can set it up in Croatia. It will not be valid for Greece. And, of course, the client looking for the boat on any platform, he will get, I mean, boats from either Greece or Turkey or Croatia all together. So it's a process, but I don't see another way where we ourselves as a charter companies can do something to gain control or try to gain control back. The rest is, of course, on the agencies, but I mean, tell us frankly, out of 10 bookings made, how many of them are made having real contact with the client? And how many are made just, you know, by clicking the online? So this is, we all know that if there is a possibility for the agent to talk to the client, there is a way that he can tell him what he knows about Istion or us or Phoenix or any. But in the situation where we are, and especially long-term trends, that even if there is a contact now, I'm sure in 2 years it will disappear. So I'm afraid this way will not help long term.
We have an agent waiting for client. Not working.
It's working.
It's working.
My name is Alex Kucher. I'm from Russia, and I can give some feedback from my side how I select charter company for my clients, our clients. As you all know, we have a huge community in Facebook, which contains a lot of skippers, and they share personal experience after some charter, some feedback, and it's not always related to a charter company. It's almost always related to charter base management and crew on side of charter company. And for example, for the same company, we may have different feedback all over the world. For example, in Greece, it will be one feedback, in Croatia, it will be another feedback, and so on. And not always so important for our client what is the technical condition of the yacht. It's much more important. Will this client have some issues and problems with getting back his deposit after charter or not? How friendly a crew in base management and so on. And this is more important question. And maybe you can pay some attention to, I don't know how to gather all these feedbacks, but it's most critical for now for final clients, for our skippers who are taking yacht in charter for 1 week, 2 weeks, and so on. And during last year, I see some statistic that skippers start taking all the yachts to keep more money and to save more money. And it's not very important to have a brand new yacht.
Yeah.
And
the user experience is important.
User experience. And one point, it's last couple, 3 maybe years, it's very risky to take brand new yacht. It's often some issues. I got a lot of issues with propellers. They're losing propellers in the first chapter. I don't know. That's from my side. Thank you.
Thanks. I think you wanted to ask me.
I'm Octavio from Natal. I want to say that, yeah, I agree with you, like, two boats are nearly the same. So we need to show the value to the clients, because if not, the only difference is the price. And if the only difference is the price, the cost will get higher and higher. But I want to say that from our side, we are super aligned with that. One of the things that we work more is to increase the lifetime value of the clients. And it comes through repetition. And repetition comes through an excellent service. So for us, it's not now choosing manually which charter agencies are best, but we have an algorithm that directly puts the charter companies and the boats that are better, that gives a better service on the top. So this is how we try to automatically drive the clients to the best.
How do you know who is better? From your reviews?
From reviews.
Yeah, the reviews is one of the more important parts.
Yeah.
But there is a lack of reviews. There is a market that is super fragmented, and then we still have a lot of boats with reviews. So there is something that we have to do here.
Okay. So to sum it up, how to improve client satisfaction? Can we agree? Huh?
Good photos and good reviews, yeah.
You know, I'm super. It's super funny when I open Booking Manager, for example. So we have one person in the office just in charge of quality control. Not just quality. This is not quality. This is like common sense control. Because if you have a new fleet, I don't know, a new fleet joins the system and they send us like 3 pictures on 10 boats, and they say, "Oh, I'll take generic ones." Okay. So what we are doing, we are always checking these photos, inventory, and actually doing charter company's job and trying to actually add pictures, add equipment, add
That's why we are
whatever.
here. That's why
Yeah, so I would really, from my point of view, I would really want to ask and tell the charter companies, please, at least, if you buy a new boat, you spend hundreds of thousands of euros on it, or government gives you. But you do marketing, you do everything, you invest in yourself, come to these workshops, blah, blah. But invest also in pictures. You don't have to have a professional photographer or whatever, but a real picture really makes a difference. We did our survey in 2017. Boats with real pictures and with inventory had 30 to 40% more bookings after. So we checked who did the search, what did they get, and which boats got a booking after the search. And really, this makes a difference. So,
Martina, your job is not to train fleet operators.
No kidding.
For fun. She does it for fun.
No,
Okay, so what I think is that your job is to take on your platform only fleet operators who act properly.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm a fleet operator, but I have to give the detail. And one thing is that in the last few years, I noticed that lots of new agencies are entering into this system. But who are they? Are they quality partners or not? Because I noticed that sometimes they present themselves like an agency, like a broker, but they don't understand the charter at all. And this is your job, that you have to make some kind of value partner to pick up. You will work with us, you won't work with us. Because
You don't want to choose that. You want us to choose for you.
No, I mean, you should have some kind of, because I noticed that you have fleets that are having boats in the system that are not the CAs, you know. This I
Okay.
noticed. And so it's, now I'm asking myself, what's the value of all this, you know? Should I be trusted with MMK or not? Or, I mean, I do research also, but sometimes I notice that some brokers are not really brokers of agents, and they don't understand, and they, you know, the
Yeah.
50%.
So, sorry to interrupt. So what we do, when a new agent broker wants to join the system, we always ask for company data details, blah, blah, and they have to be registered for yacht, charter industry, travel industry, blah, blah. They all are. But how can we check? Give us an advice, I will accept it. How can I check if he knows the market, if he knows how to work? Because I have an example, I will not name anyone, but there are examples of big agencies that know nothing about charter industry, and they need a training from us or from fleet operators how to sell their product.
Okay, this is not your job, Martina. Sorry to interrupt. This is it. This is the discussion on what, because I had a charter agent before saying that the charter agency needs to maintain its commission, and the other discussion was the price dumping, which is in connection with this.
Yes.
So as I said before, that we need to focus on the services the fleet operator is offering. It's the same with the commission of the charter agents. I mean, it's not how much is the commission on who offers the agency, charter agency services, but what he's offering. And this is the answer to the question we had lately and the big discussion about these web-based agencies. Yes? They cut off their commission, but they do not offer what normally a charter agent will offer. Okay? So this is the same, for us, it's the same discussion. The charter agent has a commission, and he needs to work on this, to work for this, okay, in order to maintain it. So it's not the percentage of the commission, it's what you are offering and what each charter agent is offering. Okay, so I'm sure you cannot control this. The customers and the fleet operators can do that, and we all know what is happening around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, Martina said that you have in your company a person who is checking the photos and everything. I would suggest that you don't do it, because if
I would suggest it also.
No, just a second. My opinion. No. My opinion is it will help also to us who are doing this. So if we are buying boats, if we are investing a huge amount of money, and if, let's say, the owner of the company or the director, the CEO, is not so clever that he has the normal person in the sales department or the marketing department to put photos of this boat inside, so the sales goes well. This is also a sign to the agent, to the broker, that this fleet operator is not serious enough, because you buy a boat which costs, I don't know, 300,000 euro, and you put really generic photos inside, so you are not serious enough. And the broker should know that this fleet operator is not serious enough to put original photos inside. This is also a sign to the agent which fleet operator is serious, which operator. You can only imagine what the client can expect in the base, what kind of service. It all is a reflection of all of this. So if you, it starts from the sales department, then it goes to the base staff in the marina. So if you, it is
generally I can
a chain of bad decisions.
Yeah.
And
generally I can agree, but there are really fleets like one-man band, really, but or two-man band or whatever, with 30 years of tradition of clients who know them, etc. They offer like 5-star quality service, but have no idea about how to take payment. But
the time overrun them. So it is time that they have to educate themselves. So if you're, I work in the sales, I'm doing the booking.
Yeah.
So who is the one? Will you tell to me that I have to put original photos inside? It's a disaster. I have to lose my job.
Yeah.
Really. Sorry, can I?
What about, what about the next trips? there are companies that cut 20 yachts at the same time. They can take pictures and upload and everything. However, when the big companies are offering a boat, they do not offer sailing authorium. They offer an Oceanis 48, and they've got 10 of them. They might have slight changes, but they all correspond to the same price. So why offer a genuine picture that will give an idea to the client when he comes to the base, for any reason, because there was a damage or because it was convenient for the booking plan? We needed to avoid the transfer. We swapped this Oceanis 48 with another one, and it is the same, but it doesn't have the same pictures. So, for the sake of the charter operators, don't get stuck on the photos. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the experience of the client.
Yeah, of course, but look, for example, you have agencies. Let's say you are a new fleet operator. How will they trust you? I mean,
if I am a new fleet operator, I need to run my business differently from an established fleet.
That's why I don't put any pictures. I put my original pictures because they have first to send me. Let's say you have an agent who doesn't trust you now because he didn't send you any client for now. So if he sends me the client, I always tell to a new agent, look, I will not tell you that I have the best boat, the good boat. Send me first client and then see the review of your client, and then you will get my. So they will start to trust you. But when you come to this, you need to have, my opinion is, you need to have original, good photos. You cannot put 3 photos if you invest money in the boats and invest also in
You might have the right photos because they correspond to all the yachts of your fleet of the ship line. And apart from this, we've got the search engine. For me, booking manager is the book of yachting. I can say it straight out. We've got this search engine. We can go in and see statistics, amount of yachts, amount of bookings, booking plans, where are all revenues. If you see a company with 10 yachts and they've got 3 bookings, don't book with them. There's something wrong there. If it's a company that is almost booked out, go for it. You have nothing to fear of. There are many, many factors that can establish credibility of the organization.
Solar Wind has a question.
Yes, please. I'm done.
Pass along the microphone.
Maya, then I can make it. Give us the microphone back.
Mare is a company. We are a small charter operator and also agency. If we're talking about a discount, I think charter companies have to have a standard discount, and it really will help. Yearly booking 10%, okay. Now it starts with the Black Friday discount. Okay, for clients it's good, but we will become bookings for year ahead. A repeater client, yes, okay, it's really work, but okay, last minute, and it's all. So agency will understand how possible discount client can become. It's not okay for this season. We have 25% for all. Second, about rating. I think we don't need really yacht rating for a yacht. Okay, you know, 53 is good yacht, 5 stars, and Oceanis are 3 stars. We really need a rating for charter companies, because in Greece it's really a problem that you can book a yacht, okay, with discount or without a big discount, and have a big problem with the changing the yacht or with the becoming a yacht in very bad condition. And from booking manager we also need to be safety. Yes, in a partner, that we understand that if we book the yacht, we don't have a really problem with this company. And
how can I guarantee that? Help me.
Okay, standards. Standards. I think the ensure this system will help for this. And of course, there is a problem that clients become a better price for direct booking in charter companies, not in the agencies. Yeah. And it's really kill our job. Yeah. Yes, of course we have also the second problem is dumping from charter agencies, but if
clients can just write a letter to the charter company and become 5 or 10% discount. I understand it's better for charter companies to sell directly, not for agencies for money, but charter agency really do their job, and we client have to know that it's the same price. It's I don't know. It's basic thing in this industry for agency. Okay, thank you.
I have a final question for 3 panelists. Is online booking possible? Real online booking. Do you honestly believe that one day, now or tomorrow or next year, client will be able to come to a website, find a boat, book it online, pay it online, and come to the base and be happy? Yes or no?
I don't think so. I think there's so many parameters and so many specific things that have to fit that it's not possible to do it online, because you know, it's too complex. It's all about the services we talked. It's about the condition of the boat. It's about this everything. You know, I think it's too complex to do it online.
So it's a no? Ioannis?
A clear no.
Yes, no? Maybe. Is it possible?
I remember the first time, the first platform we've been on was Yacht Booker, I can say that, in 2000. So at that time, it was my first discussion with Felix. And I said, okay, this can work in some 20, 30 years. Yeah. So we are still on the way. But I suppose that the answer is has to do with what we have suggested before. I mean, a rating system. We have almost tried all of them. And there is still a big problem with them, with the existing ones, that the ratings, the rating systems around are not performed, are not defined by an independent organization. Yeah. I remember the first rating system we have worked with was again Yachting. Okay, some standards, and then I said, okay, who is controlling this? Themselves. So it was me, their client, who was paying to get this rating. This cannot work.
For stars or
okay, so more or less it's the same with the others so far. So what I think we should establish is a independent organization which will set the standards and will give an idea for the client on the quality of the company he is booking with. Of course, it's still not so easy to say, okay, online bookings will work just like the hotel rooms. Yeah. But we can go further than the point we are now. Yeah, okay. This
so
is
it's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
Okay, and now we come to yes or.
Now you come to both. So if the answer is, I mean, straightforward, or the question is possible or not? Yes, it's possible. Is it recommendable? No. at least with the current parameter. Yeah. So.
Okay. Good. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, panelists. It was really a pleasure.